Okay, class. So let's continue working this.
Dear Professor, when it says autograbado, it means that we are in the class.
Yes, yes, it's okay.
Licenciada, thank you. I am so proud to learn all these things.
Okay. When we, let's continue reading this. When we read, when we analyze with discourse analysis, we can do this with the sentence analysis. Okay. What does it mean? This, okay, what are the steps? Here we have, first, read the text quickly and try to get the relevant information as much as possible, okay? This is the sentence analysis. Secondly, read the text slowly and try to look up some vital words in the dictionary to make them clear. And thirdly, raise some questions that the text is likely to give answers, okay? Fourthly, read the text once more so that you can find some evidence that can prove your answers are correct. Okay, this is an schema of reading, okay? The analyzing sentence, okay? You can use this example with beginners students, and then you can start developing the reading comprehension. Okay. Okay. Cohesive means analysis. Cohesive means analysis. Okay. What does it mean? Here we have. We have some steps. Okay. We will mainly talk about how to identify and understand factors, cohesive means, which do good readers reading comprehensions. Okay. Halliday and Hansari have elaborately talked about the problem of inter-sentence coherence. However, we might meet reading difficulty because of coherent factors. Cohesive means mainly including 5 types: reference, ellipsis, substitution, conjunction, and lexical cohesion. Okay. For example, I was reading some of your works, and some of you just do like a grammar exercise. No, it's not a grammar exercise. You have to look this, okay, these types of exercises, okay? Okay, identifying, sorry. Here we mainly analyze the problem from the following aspects. Number 1, identifying and understanding reference and substitution. Okay, what does it mean? Who can read? Who wants to read? A ver, aquí number 1. Okay, who can read? Anybody?
Me, Professor.
Okay, please. Samuel.
Number 1, identifying and understanding reference and substitution, which refers to how to identify and understand the words such as it, he, our, this, those, then, one, as in the grown one. So not as in I think so, in appear not. And comparatives, smaller, same, additional, such, other, etc. And what they refer to. Firstly, our readers should attach enough importance to reference and substitution. Secondly, our readers should make good effort to find out such word and make clear what they refer to and what they substitute. In this way, their speed and efficiency of reading will be improved.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so when you want to work this identify, understand, reference, you have to keep in mind this, okay? So when you want to develop, you say, how can I teach my students or, okay, to understand, you know, the pronouns, all those things, no?
Yes.
So you can work, no? And you are going to improve your students' reading comprehension skills, okay? Okay, the next one, number 2. Who wants to read number 2?
Me, Professor Marta.
Okay, Marta, please.
Cohesive means analysis. We will mainly talk about how to.
No, here, please. No, no. Yes, identify.
I'm sorry. Identifying and understanding ellipses in the process of communication, people often omit those they think their readers or listeners can complement according to the context, which is called ellipsis in linguistics. Readers also should find out that information omitted. For students, our teachers should prepare some exercises to practice such a language phenomenon so that the students can find out the omitted part when they are reading and understand the text more quickly and thoroughly.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So when you develop this kind of exercises, okay, you have to teach your students to find the information omitted, okay, to understand while they are reading. Okay. Third one. Who wants to read the third one?
I can read number 3.
Yes, please.
There it is. Identifying and understanding lexical cohesion. Generally, writers will not use the same words because of different writing styles. They will choose a synonym to replace a used word. Sometimes they will replace a low-class word with a high-class word. Example, replacing house with building. And they often substitute the previously used words by metaphors. Example, replacing house with nest. Under such a circumstance, our readers should not only find out the implications of the metaphors, but also understand the previous 3 aspects, especially the last one.
Okay. So how can you develop an exercise so you can teach understanding lexical cohesion? Anybody?
Probably giving them like a small context or paragraph and then just analyze it like grammatically and then see if what I am saying in the paragraph makes sense from the beginning to the end.
Okay, but you can use synonyms, for example.
Yeah, like the example, yeah.
Yeah, synonyms or metaphors or yes, this is a very good way to identify lexical cohesion. Okay, using synonyms, low class
Some metaphors. All right.
Low class word with high class word. Okay, and metaphors also. Okay, good, very good. Who wants to read number 4?
Me, Professor.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Identifying and understanding conjunction is in this part. We will discuss those final words that guide our readers to make clear the relationship of different parts in a text. These signal words often tell readers the functional values of sentences. From reading comprehension perspective, there are the following three events arranged in the order in which they occurred. Methods a writer using to recognize discourse. Writer's opinion, the first group, and reading of. Yeah. The first group includes some signal words such as the first, at once, next, the following day, etc. The second group involves the signal words such as inclusion, conclusion. That is to say, in this connection, for example, to resume, in short, and so on. The third group covers the final words such as moreover, incidentally, similarly, however, as matter of fact, in any case, therefore, in order to, if, although, and so forth.
Yes, that's right. Very good. So it's important that you can teach understanding conjunctions. Okay. What are the suggestions here? What steps can you take to teach this? Anybody?
Conjunction.
Conjunctions. Mhm.
It says that we should use methods in order
Yes.
to write down and see that it's organized what we're writing.
Yes, very good. Yes.
The first group includes some signal words such as them, first, at once, next, the following, this connection, for example, to resume, in short, and so on.
Okay, the first group, you can use words, these words, no? Then, first, at once, next, no? The following day. And the second group, signal words like such as, in conclusion, that is to say, in this connection, for example, to resume, in short, and so on. Okay, so if you are using this, you are going to teach your students to understand the conjunction. No? The third group, you can use moreover, incidentally, similarly,
however,
as a
On the
matter
other
of-
hand,
yes.
besides that,
Okay, so if you use this kind of words, you are going to teach understanding conjunction. Okay. And what about this? Identifying the rhetorical structures. Who wants to read it?
Me,
Okay, please. Linda.
identifying the rhetorical structures. Our readers should firstly make clear the title of the test, the willingness of the reader, and expect readers. After this, they should know how the writer search his aim, which needs them to study the process of rhetorical development. This process includes context and type of literature, internal structure of sentences, inter-sentences structure, inter-paragraph structure, etc. Research has testified that the best way is to start from the interparagraph structures. Readers firstly study how the individual paragraph form a text, then how the sentences form a paragraph, and finally the internal structure of individual sentences.
Okay. Okay, so how can you teach your students to identify the rhetorical structure according to this paragraph?
It says that firstly, a reader should make a clear title of the test. The first
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
It could
Okay.
be also to identify the topic sentence. It will help students to understand what the text is about.
Yeah, very good.
Professor,
Uh-huh.
what
Yes.
I understood from as a reader, we usually see the cover of the book and we read the title just to get an idea of what is about the text. So that
Yeah.
is the first thing that we're supposed to do.
Yes. And also with that you can they should know how the writer reached his aim, no? Which needs them to study the process of the rhetorical development, no? The types of literature, internal structure of the sentence, internal structure, sentence structures, okay? Interparagraph structures, okay? So when you take out these characteristics, you can teach your students to identify the rhetorical structures. Okay. Okay. These are some strategies that you can use when you develop this kind of exercises. Okay. Or maybe when you are reading, also you can apply this.
Dear
this
Professor, I have a
use-
question.
Yes.
Is this text in the platform so we can enter
Yes.
and read?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. It
okay.
is.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. It's a lesson 2. Lesson 2.
Lesson-
Yes. Lesson 2 is the name. Okay. The discourse analysis is done. Okay.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Okay. So when you start doing this, for example, you have to change you have to think about the roles of the teacher, the learners, and the materials. You know? The teachers should be reflective researchers, no longer the only decision maker. Okay, personal mentors for individual students. Okay, so with this new way of teaching, for example, virtual way, okay, the teachers changed the role. Okay, so we as a teacher, we should be reflective researchers. Okay, a helper, a guide for the students. A guide, so you as a teacher, you can teach your students how to use the information, no? Because the information you have there in the internet, no? There are a lot of information, okay? And the learners, no longer passive recipients, okay? Expected to take responsibility for their own learning, to carry out self-evaluation, okay? So also, as a learner, the student should be very active one, okay? And the materials should be flexible enough to allow for and encourage such tactics that can ensure the personal growth of both teacher and learners, okay? If you keep in mind this, and you're going to develop good material, and you're going to also develop better strategies for reading, okay? Okay, at home in this week, I want that you can review your exercises, okay? And maybe you can apply one of these techniques, okay, methods, to improve your reading exercises that you have done yesterday, okay? You can improve. They are good, and they are good, but you can improve them. Okay. or maybe you can do other exercises applying this, okay, with the same text that you have. Okay. The idea is that you can practice and how do you say, apply the theory that you are learning. Okay. Remember that this is the discourse analysis. Okay. You are using cohesion and comprehension and coherence. Okay. Very good. Okay, so today we're going to talk about also about another topic. Okay. We are going to talk about the series top-down series, top-down and up-down series. Okay. Here you have the document in the platform. Open it, please. Top-down and bottom-up series. Okay, open it. We're going to start reading and analyzing this. Please open. Okay. Top down, up down series. Okay. Most of the many reading specialists have summarized reading strategies into 3 categories. Okay. Bottom up, top down, and interactive models. Okay. The psycholinguistic Kenneth Goodman in 1967 said, reading is a process of choosing, which mainly depends on the reader's expectation and partially take advantage of the least language information from our visual input. Then the temporary decision will be confirmed, restricted, or eliminated with the development of the reading process. So this is to say here that reading is a psycholinguistic reading game. Okay. Smith also said that those our minds tell to our eyes were much more important than those our eyes tell to our minds. Okay. Those are some comments of these psycholinguistics, Kenneth, Smith, okay, Darwin, all of those are researchers that create some of these theories, okay? Let's talk about this, the first one. What does bottom-up model imply? Okay, let's start reading so you can understand a little better. And after reading, we are going to comment about this question, okay? What does bottom-up model imply? Who wants to read it?
Me, Professor.
Okay, Martha.
The first bottom up, it focuses on the development of basic skills, matching sounds with letters, syllables, and word use in writing the text. Bottom up microprocessing. Bottom up processes suppose that readers firstly have literary information in mind. When they transfer these signals to semantic information, namely, reading process is one of identification from the simple units such as alphabets, words, and sentences to more complex language units. Should I follow?
Yes, please.
The second strategy is top-down, which is based on the reader's prior knowledge to comprehend a written text. Reading activities of the bottom-up strategy starts from a basic introduction to writing and sounding out words to recognize the grapheme, morpheme, and word, and identify grammatical structures, sentences, and text. In a top-down strategy, the reading activities begin with forecasting from the title of the reading text that permits them to restrict the scope of the reading. Top-down macro processing. The top-down process follows through that reading, mainly dependent on the pre-existing knowledge in readers' minds. Including linguistic and non-linguistic factors, reading process start from the reader's and anticipation of the text. So this mood was also called a knowledge-based one.
Okay, so,
Interactive processing.
yeah.
Should I go? Oh,
Please, go on.
thank you. Interactive processing. Interactive refers to interfunctions occur between the text and the reader. Also between the visual information and the pre-existing knowledge, namely a combination of the above two modes. Interactive process discovered that the meaning of a text is not self-evident, but is created by the reader and the text together. Besides, the interactive processes describe reading a two-way one which stops or is replaced by a one-way process. Our reading comprehension will be indirect.
Yes. Okay. So we had this, no? Bottom up. What do you understand by the bottom up processing, according to this video? Anybody can ask.
I think it's when before to read, the reader know a little or have some information about this topic.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Bottom-
It's the background they have before they start researching about the topic, as my classmate just mentioned.
Yes, very good, very good. Okay, so you had the information in mind, no? But you're going to, but the first thing that you can do is to relate that information with what you are reading, no? That is the second strategy is top down. What do you understand by the strategy top down?
The reader's prior knowledge to comprehend writing text.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Okay, they relate. Okay. What about processing? Top-down processing. Top-down processing, macro.
What did you say about the second strategy? Is it that it has to have the sequence?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay. When you put in practice top-down processing, maybe you can start doing inferences, no? An anticipation of the text. those are some strategies, okay, when you're doing this top-down processing, okay? Depending on the pre-existing knowledge of the reader's mind, no? Okay, for example, you start reading and you start working in your mind, okay, and relating with something that, or maybe thinking, for example, this gonna happen, this gonna happen, okay, after I continue reading, okay, or I can say, oh, this means these things, and you continue reading, and you can understand the, okay, you can understand what you are reading, okay? Okay, here we have the interaction, you say interactive processing, no, interactive.
It refers to the
Yes, Carmela?
it refers to the interfunctions occur between the text and the readers.
Yes.
Also,
Do you understand that? Meanwhile you're reading, you try to visualize the information in your mind, okay? You try to make a picture of what you're reading. That's in an interactive process. Okay. Meanwhile, you are doing this, you are trying to get the meaning of what you are reading. Okay. If you don't understand what you're reading, you're not getting meaning. No? You're not going to comprehend what you are reading. Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay, so that's the theory, that the how linguistic explain, this process of reading. Okay, the bottom up and the top down process. Okay, let's continue. Okay, what does bottom reading process imply? Let's continue reading this. Who wants to read this for me?
Hey, Professor. B, right? What does bottom-up reading process imply? So bottom-up models of the reading process view reading as basically a translating, decoding, or encoding process. Here, the reader starts with letters or larger units. And as he attends to them, he begins to anticipate the words they spell. When the words are identified, they are decoded to inner speech from which the reader derives meaning in the same way as listening. In this process, reading comprehension is believed to be an automatic outcome of accurate word recognition. The followers of these models have argued that reading is essentially the translation of graphic symbols into an approximation of oral language. These models are influenced by behaviorist psychology and thus structural linguistics, in which they are mostly appropriate for beginning readers. And that is the
Okay,
resource.
thank you. Okay, so what does bottom reading process imply? What do you understand in this paragraph?
I think that when you have a good vocabulary, you can anticipate what is the words coming to complete a sentence that you start reading. So I think that is the basic idea.
Yes, that's good. Good, very good. You can anticipate, no? Yes, very good. Any other ideas? Okay. So that's it. No? While you are starting reading, you can basically decoding or encoding process. Meanwhile, you are starting reading the words, okay, you are starting making some links, okay, between that you have already know and the words that you are reading, okay? You translate the graphic symbols into an approximation of oral language, okay? You know that the written form of the